hang on, what's this? Oh, 1,000 subscribers. Thank you very much, everyone. Couldn't be more chuffed. Honestly, when I started this channel, I wasn't sure if there was an audience for the sort of thing, or if my lessons would do any well. So, seems like you're all enjoying the content that I'm putting out, so I'll keep on making videos for you. So let's get on to this lesson. So in this lesson, we're going to look at a very useful way of and easy way of changing keys. Do apologize, I did say in the last video that we would look at what was it again? Compound timing and simple timing. So but haven't really got round to finishing that lesson yet, and this one kind of came out of the blue. I put it all together this week. So you may be asking yourself, why would I want to change keys? So in short, it gives us more to work with when writing music, and also it can make our songs more interesting and more fun to play in some cases too. So let's get to it. I find the best way to always learn something is by looking at examples. So that's exactly what I'll do for this lesson. So before we start, let's take a look at the example I've made. The chord changes are quite simple, but I tried to make the piece quite mathy. So let's take a listen to that before we do anything else. So there's the piece. What did you think, and how does it sound, and did it sound at all like it changed key? So it does change key, and let's get into the theory of how that works with the chord changes. But before we do, I just want to leave a note saying that I don't know what level of playing you're at or your understanding of theory, so I'm going to try and keep it basic and then build it up. So if some things seem fairly obvious to you, just stick with me and I will get to the point eventually. So let's take a look at the example. So it's I've condensed it into 6 bars here, and let's separate it in half. So the first 3 bars we have a C major 9 going to a G major 7. It sounds very kind of Midwest emo, bands like Braid and Cap'n Jazz and stuff like that. And so if you pull up the key, so you may have noticed, that this start is in the key of G major. So if you pull up the key of G major here, we have G major, A minor, B minor, C major, D dominant, E minor, and F sharp diminished. So where do these 2 chords fit in? C major 9, as you can see, is the 4th, and G major 7, which is the 1st there. So then when we look at the next part of the piece I've made, we have a G major 7, then we have a C sharp diminished run there, D major 9, and a E minor 9 there. So what you may have noticed is that a D major 9 is not within the key of G major. There we have a D dominant. So we've changed key, but how do we work out which key have we changed to? So what we can do is look at the chord itself and then what's surrounding that chord in the progression. I'd say this is the easy and fastest way of doing it. So D major 9 is surrounded by a G major 7, a C sharp diminished, D major 9, and a E minor 9. So take a second to think, what key do these 4 chords fit into best? And the answer is D major. So let's take a look at D major. So you may have noticed we got so D major, E minor, F sharp minor, G major, A dominant, B minor, and C sharp diminished. So our 4 chords are there. So we have changed key from G major to D major. So how did I go about doing this? So if we take a look at both of the keys of G major and D major, what do you notice that's similar in both keys? So the key, the key is in the common chords we find in both of them. So what are the common chords in both of them? Can you find them? So we have G major, B minor, and E minor are the common chords in both keys. So what you could do with these chords is use them as pivots to change between keys. And this is the secret that I was getting at the start of the lesson. So if you do this, it's a much easier way of changing keys, and also doesn't sound bad or too obvious as well. So with my piece here, my pivot chord to change key is the G major, as you can see. So when we come to the G major here, the G major is in both G major and the D major. So then I'm using it there to access the key of D major. And also when you come to this E minor 9, you could use this as your pivot, as it's in both keys again, to go back to the C major 9 chord that's in G major. So you can do this with many different keys. You just look them up and find out which common chords and notes that they share. So it's all very much on experiments to see how things sound and how you want them to sound. So I encourage you to try this out with your songwriting to see what you get. And I think that's all. I think that covers it all. So please let me know if I didn't explain this well enough for you, or it was too difficult to understand in the comments, and then I'll do my best to help you with that. And if you have anything to add as well to changing keys, this is just one way of doing it, and it's probably the most simplest and most effective way to change keys, I would say. So as always, thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe, and I'll try and get to 2,000 subscribers. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.